Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Just going to get things set up and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well. Yeah. Alright, almost ready to go. Just got to get one last thing set up. Alright, let's begin. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Benny and Booth Podcast. On this week's episode, we've got MLB Weekly Recap and a few other things in general with podcasts in the future weeks. All coming up right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 82 of the Benny and the Booth Podcast. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. Next week, I will not be doing an episode as I will be in Minnesota next week going to two Twins games. Will sadly not be able to tour Target Field. I just got that confirmation today. But I'm going to be going to Twins games, two games, July 3rd and July 4th, both against Kansas City. If you're happy to be at the game, I guess you could come find me. Otherwise, I don't know. But I do hope to make a vlog out of the trip. between everything I'm doing there, between the games, and even I'm hoping to get to Mall of America. So there won't be an episode at some point. I'll hopefully have a vlog from the trip. But yeah, next week there's not going to be an episode. And then, so it won't be, the next episode probably won't be till like July 11th or so. Uh, and even, and then once it gets back into the episodes, there's going to be like a few weeks where I can't use intro, outro. So just wanted to give that heads up before we started today's episode. So let's get into this week's episode. So, I was actually at Mets Brewers last night in New York. First time in Citi Field this year, first time with the new scoreboard changes. And what was interesting was like I knew they had changed like the center one in like center and like right center field, but I didn't realize they even changed the one in the left like that. It didn't have like a significant change compared to the others, but even that one was like a good bit different than what I had seen it in the past. But either way, the Brewers won 2-1 on the back of Joey Wiemer, two-run homer in the sixth. It's basically the same story the Mets have been having recently. Justin Verlander, or a Mets starting pitcher, pitching very good. Verlander did pitch great last night, 5 shutout innings, did get into a lot of trouble, but was able to escape every jam. And the bullpen just blows it within moments of being brought into the game. Oh, and for those who are hockey fans, the NHL schedule has officially come out. I'm not a hockey fan and I don't plan to talk about it, but in case you want to, you're a hockey fan and are interested, it's come out officially. Right. So yeah, it was a great game though. Mets got 1 run on a sac fly. The biggest problem was the wind was blowing in, and I have a feeling if the wind wasn't blowing in, the wind was blowing out. Lindor's ball that he hit that was a sac fly probably is a home run on a normal wind day because there was a lot of contact and he was like just barely shy, like just on the warning track, fly out. Mets were both teams had some bad defensive mistakes. But only the Brewers ones actually led to any run or runs. The Mets one didn't lead to any run or runs. It just led to an extended inning. But Verlander pitched great. Colin Ray pitched even better for Milwaukee, going 6 1/3 innings. And it was pretty much just all Milwaukee. Pretty much a very much pitcher friendly game, and Brewers won 2-1. Game 2 being tonight. And yeah, and I'm not going to any games until Minnesota, so that's gonna be the last game till next week, Minnesota. Yeah. So otherwise, let's get into the rest of this week. The big notes from this week. The Cubs, with their 4-0 win over the Pirates on Tuesday, held the Pirates scoreless for 24 innings. Ended at 25 in the very next game in the second inning. But the Cubs did win that game and swept the series in Pittsburgh. Reds' 10-game win streak, thanks to an 8-6 win versus the Rockies, is the longest streak in Reds history since 2012. With 5-3 win over the Rockies, and they went on now out at an 11-game win streak, which was most since 1957. Gavin Williams in his major league debut had a mediocre debut, going 5 2/3, giving up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a Guardian 7-6 win over the A's. He got the no decision. Laureano's strikeout swinging was his first major league strikeout. 5-run 10th led the Braves over the Phillies 5-1. Josh Bell solo home run in the 5th is his 500th career RBI in the Guardians 6-1 win over the A's. Joe Ryan going a complete game shutout, giving up 3 hits and 9 strikeouts in the Twins 6-0 win over the Red Sox. Mariners had 4 home runs in a 10-2 win over the Yankees. Coleman Wong, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, and Cal Raleigh. Kenta Maeda, who's been up and down with injuries and stuff, had a great start against Detroit, going 5 innings, giving the win, giving up 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 4-1 win for Minnesota. Joey Votto, 2-homer game, and Ellie De La Cruz hitting for the cycle, one of the youngest to do in a while. And the Reds coming back from down 5-0 and 7-5 to win 11-10 to make it a 12-game win streak. Sadly, would end the next day, and their win streak is over. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had one fielding error, one base running mistake, and a 4-2 Yankees loss versus Texas in 10 innings. And those mistakes pretty much have sealed to me that the Yankees' hopes are starting to dwindle down, if not are completely out. Willie Adames had a 2-homer game and a 7-1 Brewers win over the Guardians. The London series, Game 1. Well, my big question going in was, the fence is moving back. Is it going to affect the offensive numbers? Well, it kind of did and it kind of didn't in both games aspects. Ian, in the first game, Ian Happ had a 2-homer game, both off Wainwright, 6 homers off Waino in his career, most by one player off Wainwright. In the Cubs' 9-1 win over the Cardinals in Game 1, they just dominated Game 1. Steele pitched great. Angels racked up most hits, 28, and runs, 25. In a game in for them in a 25-1 win versus Colorado Rockies behind 13-run third and 8-run fourth. Funny part of that series is they actually outscored the Rockies in the series 32-12, yet lost the series 2 games to one of the Rockies. Rockies won the first and the last game. In the second game in London, the Cardinals came back from down 4-0, beat the Cubs 7-5, capitalizing off a bunch of Cubs mistakes. Also, I don't know what it was, but apparently the people who do scoring in London for baseball games don't know what they're doing, because there were so many mistakes they made with scoring. It was just like sitting there like, are we sure these people know how to score these things? Anyways, with 6 shutout innings, Yuri Perez now has 21 scoreless innings streak in a 2-0 Marlins win over the Pirates. And yesterday, Jordan Westburg made his major league debut for the Orioles, which I had only known about him before because literally Friday in MLB The Show, he got like a Future Stars card. 3 days later, he gets called up. Had a walk, a run, an RBI single in Orioles 10-3 win over the Reds. And that is the notes part of this week's episode of the recap. Standings, there hasn't been, in the AL, there isn't really much changes. The Red Sox were on a 6-game win streak. Then that got ended. The A's were on an 8-game losing streak. That was ended. Astros are on a 5-game losing streak. That ended. In the NL, the biggest change is that Milwaukee has gone up over Cincinnati, as after the 12-game win streak, Cincinnati's on a 3-game losing streak, and the Pirates were at one point around a 10-game losing streak. That ended on a losing streak, on a 2-game losing streak. But overall, the Braves had an 8-game win streak, ended. The Marlins had a 5-game win streak, ended. And then the Giants had a 10-game win streak, ended. With them still ahead of the Dodgers, but still behind Arizona. And the rest mostly the same in the NL in terms of standings. So that is standings part for tonight's games. Orioles hosting the Reds at 7:05, Padres and Pirates at 7:05, Giants at Blue Jays at 7:07, Marlins at Red Sox at 7:10, Brewers at Mets Game 2 at 7:10, Twins at Braves at 7:20, Astros at Cardinals at 7:45, Phillies at Cubs at 8:05, but apparently that game might not happen because there's apparently been what New York got a few weeks back with the air quality apparently is hitting Chicago right now, possibly, and so they might not even play tonight. We'll see. Tigers at Rangers at 8:05, Guardians at Royals at 8:10, Dodgers at Rockies at 8:40, White Sox at Angels at 9:38, Nationals at Mariners at 9:40, Rays at Diamondbacks at 9:40, and then Yankees at A's at 9:40. That is the schedule, and that is this week's episode of the podcast. Let's wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Benny and Booth Podcast. Of course, keep in mind there will not be an episode next week as I will be in Minnesota for checking out the Twins team for the first time. But I hope to be putting out a vlog from that trip at some point between when I come out from the trip and between whenever the next episode of the podcast will be. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like. hit the subscribe button, leave notification button to notify when I go live and or post a video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, and hit the notification button to notify when I post on there. If you have any guests that you'd want me have on the podcast in the future, please let me know in the comments, whether on YouTube or audio. I definitely be willing to hear out any guests you have that you know that you'd want me to have on. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. Bye-bye.